Resurrection Day. Yes, it is. Hello, good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. We should have so much joy in our hearts today. We are celebrating what we call Resurrection Sunday. This is the day that Jesus rose. But I just got some controversial information. I want to know, what did the Easter Bunny, what did the color eggs, what all that got to do with Resurrection Sunday? Now I've been reading back, and I'm sure all of us go to our Bibles and we learn how Jesus died on the cross for our sins. That was a magnificent, that was the greatest sacrifice that God could have given mankind. Because without that sacrifice, none of our sinful behind would be here. But God, we thank you. I know I do. But I want to know theologically, how and where did that come into being? You know, I know when I was younger, traditionally, for years we followed tradition. That goes to show tradition has basically took us in different directions, because as I sit back and being older, I'm trying to figure out, why do we celebrate these days? What is the purpose of these days? And what we doing it for? So the ultimate sacrifice is when God sent his only son to die for our sin. But I'm trying to understand, what color an Easter egg, going to get Easter basket, candy curling your hair, and going to get a pink, purple, blue, or green Easter dress got to do with Resurrection Sunday? So I posed a question, and y'all please let me understand it, because we need to be taught differently. And over the years, my mama brought it down to me. I took it down to my kids. It's like a generational type of tradition. And God knows we are so messed up, because that has nothing to do with it. And it's like people make a Resurrection Sunday as a pagan holiday. And I don't understand how all that play into. So as I've grown older and more mature and read my Bible to understand it, you know better, you do better. You know better, you do better. We have a lot of problems with knowing better and doing better. Everywhere you go, everywhere I went, Happy Easter. I'm looking at these people like, Happy Resurrection Sunday. I don't say Happy Easter to nobody, because that ain't what Resurrection Sunday is. So y'all that want to comment and send me something in my inbox, please let me know what Easter, because I've been reading a lot of books this last week, and that has really been setting on my heart. Like, how do people entertain the Easter Bunny? What? The Easter Bunny got to do with Resurrection Sunday. When Christ was on that cross, ain't no Easter Bunny was up there. When Christ died and suffered and was whipped and was beaten and went to the grave, and 3 days rose again, where in the hell did an Easter Bunny came into play? So it let us know these are traditions that came down throughout the years, and ain't nothing wrong with getting your hair curled, ain't nothing wrong with buying you a new dress, but it shouldn't be just Easter. You should feel sort of like dressing up and looking nice when you're going into the house of the Lord. So there's so much for that. I just don't understand it, and I'm just like, as people, we need to start reading, we need to start getting knowledge, and we need to be making aware of stop following tradition and following the right thing, because tradition has gotten us nowhere over the years. It just passed down from our mama them. Our mamas got it from grandmama them. Grandmama them gave it to the grandchildren. The children gave it to their children. And it's passed down. And guess what? People have fun with it, but guess what? What's the meaning? So much for that today. We got a lot of topics that we want to dig in today. A lot of people been on social media, all the social media sites. And I've been hearing so much about it. I'm going to basically tell you, I'm tired. I'm so tired of going on social media sites. I'm so tired of people giving comments or dealing with it. But I'm going to give my comment. Ain't no way in hell Will Smith would have slapped me, and I would have just took that slap and played it off. Boy, we would have been tearing that darn Oscar up. I ain't turning the other cheek. I ain't there yet. especially for the purpose intended. I think that the way he handled himself as a man, we have to think before we react. He reacted before he thought. And a lot of times we put ourselves in bad situations, and a lot of people saying, oh, well, that ain't gonna do nothing for him. That ain't gonna do nothing for him. It may not do nothing for his pocketbook. It may not ever do anything to him financially, but his character was really shown doing all of that. I mean, his character was way out of the top. And a lot of people say, oh, Chris Rock handled that well. Chris Rock got the hell slapped out of him. He didn't know what was coming. So he ain't had nothing to do. Somebody slapped the wind out you like that, you'll be like, who? I just gonna say kudos to Chris Rock. I think he's a brilliant individual because he really handled it in a way that maybe I should have handled that, but I'm a fighter. So Will probably would have got his ass whooped. I can't put it to you all the way. I would have probably had to repent for it later. But all that black suit with the diamond town and all that, boy, that would have been everywhere around his neck, tightening it and choking it and everything like that. Because I just felt like it was very disrespectful, distasteful. And yes, he can't take it back. Yes, he apologized for it. But I think a man that was sitting up high on his caliber, we should always think before our actions. And a lot of times, even myself and maybe a lot of people, we act before we think, and that's why we in a lot of the things that we into. I even had the conversation with my husband about it. Like, you know, I know you protect me, boy, you in love me, you care for me and all that. What would you have handled it? And his statement was, I probably wouldn't have liked it either, but I would have just went over there and told him to chill with it, not to really go to that. And to me, when your character is touched and is tainted, I don't care what you do. I don't care how much good he do for now. He always gonna be remembered for that, the way he conducted himself. So kudos to you, Chris Rock. You surely was a man, had to be of the cloth. Because much as I pray and much as I bend my knees, I ain't there yet. I'm not there, and I don't think I'll ever be there. I read on one of the posts, his wife got money, he got money, and Chris Rock got money, so why the hell we even talk about it? Well, like I've always told, opinions are like rectums, everybody got one. Put in the street term, I was always taught, you know, everybody got their own opinion. But as a successful person, and I say his character, let's take away the money, because yes, he made a lot of money. Yes, he was in the box office, and yes, he was all of that. But ain't nobody could tell me that he settled within himself, that he allowed himself to act before he thought. I think that as a professional man, if you really look at the video, he was double-minded. He was very double-minded because he laughed at it too till he looked at his wife. Quite naturally, I wouldn't laugh at a joke like that, but he laughed at it too. He knew the shit was funny, but Chris Rock is a comedian. So to me as a professional, I think no matter how much money he make and how much he do, I think it's gonna hit him in a lot of ways. And to me, it did damage his character. Now some people may say the hell with the character about the money, but sometimes when all of that go, the money, the fame, the fortune, sometimes all you got is your inner self and your inner soul to think about the things that you've done. And you know, ain't nobody gonna tell me that if he's selling within himself after what he did, something is wrong. So as a professional person, no matter how much good you do, you could do all the good in this world. You could do one thing and that's gonna follow you for the rest of your life. That's why I say his character. His character is like touched a little bit because first of all, everybody gonna have an opinion and he keeps saying he's sorry, they gonna justify. But I don't care what good you do. You could do all the good. Look, all the movies he made, all the things he did with Serena Williams, that movie did an excellent job. I mean, he played the parts in his film. But that one little thing when he went and did, that would never be forgotten on his life. It's going to stay him. That's what I feel. You know, you may not give a damn. Trust me, I'm talking about it. But frankly, I don't give a damn. All I'm doing is saying, You wouldn't have slapped me like that. I wouldn't care how much money you had. Even if they made a joke about it, why Jada will got upset about it, because a lot of people say nasty things about you, because I'm a professional person and a lot of people gonna say nasty things about me, but I always find that when people say nasty and negative things about you, 9 out of 10 they either want to be you or they want to be with you or they want to be in your company. So she's beautiful with the short hair. What I didn't like is they made a big deal because she suffered with alopecia, and alopecia just didn't come around when Jada Pickett was diagnosed with it. That's been around a long time. So why so much attention is given on her? I mean, a lot of women suffer with that, and hair loss is, women deals with that really personal. My heart go out to her, but now they're making a big deal because she got alopecia. I mean, I used to be a hairdresser for many years, got my license and everything. That is hereditary, and sometimes it's come from trauma. It can come from so many things, but I just didn't like the fact that so much attention was brought on her, and there's so many other women that suffer with that. Let's talk about being in a relationship and one of them are more successful than the other. So we'll start with maybe Will Smith and Jada. As everybody knows, Jada is successful. She got a Red Table Talk. She saw some movies back in the day, but everybody know Will is the shit in the box office, making movies, doing everything he got to do. He is the success as far as doing movies and stuff like that, which is great. I don't think it's looking at them from a back end that it was a problem in their relationship, because Jada always kept herself doing something. That's why she came up with the Red Table Talk, and she do a little side movies and stuff like that. I think they just came to a balance, but of course Will has always been the over successful one. They don't seem like that's a problem. However, I will kind of use my own situation. I don't think being more successful than the other, people do have a lot of times to kind of like think about that in a relationship. They got this stigma that a man should be making more money than a woman, and a man should be more superior than a woman in a marriage. But I beg the difference. I think long as the money coming in one pot, then both of them are living. I don't think because he make more movies and she make more movies, they consider equal. I think it should just be a balance. I notice in my professional world, outside of my marriage, there is a stigma put on women that makes more than men. And they try to throw cliches in, oh, she make more money, she way in the pen, she doing this, she doing this. You got some men that care about it, and they'll talk about it. And my home is not talked about because all the money go in one pot, because when you're married, it's one. So that's a big thing for some people, but and it's a biggie out there with jobs, money, taking care of the household and all that. But I think I may be more successful as far as in the gear world of my profession, but then my spouse could be more successful in this part. Everybody has a gift in a marriage and what they could bring to the table, and some people bring it a little bit more, and some people bring it a little bit more in some areas and then some in another area. So it's all what you and your mate like. Success in marriage and family is very difficult to carry. I mean, you got to be really grounded and rooted to be able to juggle all of that and do what you need to do. It's difficult, but you got to know how bad you want it. I always tell people on my segment, you get up in the morning, God bless you to see another day. You got 24 hours in a day. What you gonna do with it? Stop crying on what this person ain't doing. Stop crying on what you could have done. Make it happen. Stop talking about it and be about it. It gets so under my skin to hear people to know how they could do better with their life, and they just sitting up there settling. Stop existing and learn how to live. I think it's very important that spouses to support one another. I think the one that's more successful, regardless of who is more successful than the other, it's very important for a healthy marriage that the spouse support the one that's more successful, regardless. But that takes a lot. It takes a lot of understanding, and you don't want a spouse that's working against you than for you. and you don't want a spouse that's jealous because you got success and they ain't got success. It gear back to it. You could do the same thing I'm doing. I think that people need to have their spouse in their corner. That's very important with success, because if you don't have a partner that you are successful and the partner is not supportive, that really put a strain on you to even work even harder, because you're dealing with the outside forces of people being negative and not supportive. But then to come home and get that, that is mind blowing. I don't think that that's something I could deal with if you're not gonna support me, because that's like a rope. You will be pulling me, and the more I'm trying to prove myself, the more you're trying to pull me. So I think spouses, either one successful than the other, they should support each other at all means necessary. And if they're not supporting each other, it should be a reason, well, why I'm not patting you on the back, or why I'm not congratulating you, or why I'm not asking you how can I be a better spouse or whatever. It shouldn't be about the gender roles. It should be about the success, because success is ongoing, like I tell you. And every successful person, if they got a mate, they need the support of their mate. One of the things that I want to talk about too in marriages and successful spouses, a lot of spouses, and I'm more so geared to female successful in marriages, that they have spouses that's jealous of their success. The attention that they get, maybe they are making more money. It seems like they are more dominant, but not dominant to be in control, but dominant because women usually be more forceful going after their dream. And a lot of marriages faces that the spouse could be jealous of their success. I've never understood it. I don't really think that it should be something a spouse should be jealous of, because the more you bring to the table, the better it is. I mean, why be jealous when I can join you? But some men, they won't admit it, but they're male chauvinistic and they're intimidated about having a successful woman. So they tend to be jealous of the woman that's successful. Not only is she successful, but she's educated. Not only she's an educator, she's a go-getter, and she makes stuff happen. And every man can't take that. That's why you got to get a man with a strong man. Men say, oh, child, that don't bother me, until they're in that situation. And then they be making little remarks like, you think you all that? You think you smart? So if you ain't got a problem with it, why you making them comments? So I think that that's a weight down. That's like some weights down on a marriage. When you're in a marriage and your spouse is jealous of your success, and you know, you may say it don't bother you, but deep down at night, you can maybe feel like you're sleeping with the enemy. So that's very important. And there's nothing getting a feeling of thinking you're sleeping with the enemy. That's not a good feeling to have. So we have to know how we're going to relate to our partners. A lot of these things should be discussed early on in a marriage, especially if you're dealing with a partner that's a go-getter. You should be able to sit to the table with that, because if it don't be dealt with it, y'all gonna see what you call divorce and a struggle. Because I'm gonna be struggling, and 9 out of 10, the successful person built all this, and the person that ain't did a damn thing trying to take everything the successful person built. But then you know what they'll say? I ain't want nothing. I ain't care if this. Yes, you can, because you wouldn't be fighting it. Y'all better talk to Mary J. Blige about that. If you're in a relationship and your mate is jealous, it gonna make your road to success harder. And how it's gonna make it harder, because you're gonna always be trying to prove yourself. You're gonna always be trying to better yourself. So he or she wouldn't say, I knew you couldn't do it. Because them be the first ones that pull you down. It's never your outside circle. Your first offense is always inside. Your first hurt always come inside, because those are your doubters. Those are the people who put you down, because they remember you before you got saved. They remember when you wasn't nobody, now you somebody. So they gonna be your first offense. So having a jealous mate say it's gonna make you work harder. You're gonna stay on your knees. You're gonna persevere. You gonna, when somebody else will work 10 hours, you probably will work 20 hours, because you're gonna be always in a improvement thing. And then you never gonna be settled and happy in a relationship when you're dealing with somebody that's jealous of your success. I mean, it's like I say, sleeping with the enemy. because it's always going to be a struggle. And then you always going to think in your mind, I got to make it, I got to make it, I got to make it. Because you don't want to hear, oh, I knew you weren't going to make it. That's why I ain't get into it. That's why I ain't help you. And all of it is, they wish it was them doing it instead of you. So it could work in a very negative sense to me. Having a spouse that's showing all the signs, aggressiveness, verbally, they're showing in their actions that they jealous. My advice was to be the people is to communicate first. I would talk about it like, what's wrong with you? What's the problem? When I make it, you make it. I do good, you do good. The money coming in the house, the money helping us live, like the dollar bill, the green money ain't got no gender specification on it. What's the problem? And I would sit down and talk about it. But if it has gotten big to the point that I'm not going anywhere with it, think of an exit strategy. That would be my advice. I don't tell people to leave, get no divorce or whatever. But if you don't get an exit strategy and you don't get some counseling, I would first say go to counseling. Then after counseling, then if that don't help, get an extra strategy, because it's going to weigh on you more than you think. When you have a spouse that's not supportive, they jealous, they don't give a damn, they not helping you, but guess what? They living off of your success. But behind closed doors, they tearing you down, but in public, they cheesing. That's my wife, that's my husband, oh, that's my husband, that's my wife. But then behind closed doors, they making you look like 2 cents. So to me, communicate, get counseling. After that, the third window, get an exit strategy. The most important thing in life to me is believing in yourself. That is the key, the source, the bread, the butter, the food for success. You have to believe in yourself if nobody else don't believe in yourself. If you got a dream and you got a vision, which we all have, because all of us are born with a vision and a dream and a gift. It's how you going to exercise it. Some of us water it down a little bit. Some of us add a little bit of flavor to it. You should be the first person to yourself to believe in you more than anybody. Because once you believe in yourself and believe in your dreams and goals, you're unstoppable. And you can't let nobody take it away from you. Whether you hear negativity in this, because you're going to hear it. I don't care how you feel and you think you can make it, it's going to be somebody right in your circle. Well, I wouldn't have done it like that. I don't think you should have did that. You too old. People don't supposed to do that like that. And the same people that's telling you what you shouldn't have done, you need to check their resume. Ask them what they did for yourself. Like some people say to me, since I've been doing my podcast, I hear so many people saying, like, me, I work hard. The Bible says, give me the fruit of my labor. And they'll come with this thing, say, oh, people that got money don't show it. Where the hell you been at? All the actors, look at them on the red carpet. Every outfit they had on had a name brand. They came on the red carpet, shoes, Louis Vuitton, Gucci. This actor had on this. And they not only told you their name, they told you what they was wearing. You don't have to physically show that these people live the life of a lavish lifestyle. But then when a little neon person try to do it, oh, I wouldn't be showing it. You don't have to show it, just be yourself. But the person that said that, ask you where they at, ask you what their bank account look like, ask you what they doing. They so worried about how you trying to present yourself that they ain't got it. So that's why you always have to be strong within yourself, to believe in yourself. I don't care what nobody say, what nobody do. I know that I am a successor. You can't take it from me. I eat, sleep, and breathe. And when negative stuff come, that's what life is. I was just telling one of my friends, if obstacles do not come, your endurance will never be tested. And if you don't have any obstacles, then that ain't for you. Because obstacles make you endure. It's basically to see what you made out of. And if you crunch at the easy thing, then that ain't for you. Endurance is the key to anything. Mostly every successful person, they done endured something. They've been talked about. People say they ain't got this. They did this. Some of them say, oh, they done filed bankruptcy, so they ain't got this. Every successful person got a story. But what they did was they never gave up. They believed in themselves. No matter what nobody said, no matter what they had, I listened to their stories, they endured. You always, and believe it or not, always, don't never let nobody make you think you less than what you think they are. And if they do, delete button. Delete. You always. You have to keep that inside of you. And trying to reach goals in life and trying to better yourself and make it to where you believe you want to go. First, you have to identify what is the gift that you have. Like I told y'all on a video I did, you got to find out. How you find out your gift? See something you like to do. I like serving. I like helping people. I like talking. I like sharing my story. And I'm only sharing my story because I'm trying to help you not make the same mistakes I make. So you have to find your gift. After you find your gift, you have to believe in yourself that I can do it, and no matter what nobody say, believe in yourself. And you're going to have the doubters, you're going to have the naysayers, but you got to always have that in the back of your head. You know, I was born to do this. This is what God got me to do. You got to believe in yourself. 3, you got to make action. I always tell people faith, actions, and determination. You got to start putting action to work. You can't keep talking about what you want to do. Oh, child, I want to go back to school. I want to open this store. I want to go to college. But you still talking about what you want to do, but you made no effort to do it. It ain't going to sit on your lap. That means you don't want it bad enough. The 4th thing, you got to be so determined that you enduring. Something come, say like you working on your dream. I'm going to use for an example, you working on your dream, you run out of money. That's the quickest way to give up. You don't give up. What you do is start thinking of other ways. Well, I need to accomplish this. Man, I know I need some money, but I need to do it this way. Where there's a will, there's always a way. So endurance. And a lot of people have not accomplished their goals and dreams because they don't want to endure. They don't want to do it. As soon as something tap their ship, the ship get rocky. Some of them fall off. Some of them don't never get back on, and they never make it. And then 10 years down the line, when they're 10 years older, they say to themselves, I wish I could have stayed and did what I needed to do, but they didn't have no endurance. And you got to persevere to the end. You got to keep grinding. You got to keep going. And like I say all the time, it just bothers me so much that we live in a world, we live in a country where opportunities are so great and we take very little advantage of our opportunities. And why? Some of us got lazy spirit, some of them don't have no go-getting, and some of them want to sit in our lap. And a lot of time when it comes to money, it's because you mismanage your money. It's not that you didn't have enough, you just mismanage it, or could be a great thing, nobody couldn't tell you nothing, and you didn't sort out the plan before you did it. I always say, a man without a plan, he'll fail every time. You got to have a plan. Now, will a plan work out the way you want it to work out? It may be not, but guess what? It won't come too much off of that plan if you stay on track. So you got to follow the guidelines to success. It is a roadmap, and people could put it in a book, but living it is the greatest gift of it all. Whenever you do great things in your life, and I'm going to speak from all areas and then get to where I needed to land at. When you growing up, you start going in your adolescent years, you're uncomfortable because your body start doing changes. Some women, we go through changes. Men, they go through changes. As we come adults, we still go through changes. When we get married and start having kids, we go through changes emotionally. Men, as they get older, they go through changes. Through life, we all go through changes within. But life is not supposed to be comfortable. Success is not comfortable. Because I've learned that being comfortable, you ain't got no push. When you're uncomfortable, you're going to push a little further. And that's how most of the time I know when I'm headed in the right direction, because I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable being on the job this long and I could die and I just got a pension. I'm not comfortable making this amount of money working from paycheck to paycheck. I'm not comfortable when I'm denied a credit loan. I'm not comfortable when I can't drive and live and be the person that I know God created me to be. So being uncomfortable is normal. When you're going to the ladder of success, uncomfortability is always going to knock at your door. I remember I've been in the funeral business now, owning my own funeral. I've been in the funeral business a long time, maybe last almost 20 years, but I've been owning my own funeral home for the last 14 years. And I was very uncomfortable getting out, being a business owner, being able to service my community. And at first I used to thought it was a bad thing, but as I got older and tried to accomplish success and trying to endure and reach my goals, being uncomfortable is a natural way of being. And basically being uncomfortable keep you on top of your toes. So even like me, I think I've mastered, and I ain't gonna say I think, I have mastered basically 98% of the things in the funeral industry. I've mastered it, meaning that God has blessed me, He has educated me, He has given me experience, Hard Knocks University. I've met so many people, I've learned so much of stuff. So during my new adventure with Don't Tell Me You Can't Do It, a lot of people may think that it was very easy for me. No, it wasn't. What I wanted to do is step outside of my comfortability, because the funeral business had gotten comfortable for me. I know it in my sleep. I eat, sleep, and breathe it. I'm comfortable with that. But coming up with a new venture as my podcast on Don't Tell Me You Can't Do It, I became very uncomfortable. I started to ask myself why. After God had already gave me this vision years ago when I wrote my books, I started wanting to give something back, but wanted to do it where I don't be in the forefront because I was very uncomfortable. And a lot of y'all be hearing me speak week after week on this podcast. You know what? I had a phobia with speaking in front of people, and y'all wouldn't believe it. I still do. What I do, I always ask God to lead my tongue when I'm speaking to the people. So before I get on, I'm always a little bit uneasy because I look for acceptance from my audience, and I be wanting my audience to really understand and grasp what I'm saying. I just came to the place we're doing these podcasts since January. I can't be worrying about if you're comfortable with what I'm doing. I got to be comfortable within myself. So every time I get on, I could be a little uncomfortable, but then I settle myself down in a place that I know what my mission and my goal is for this podcast is to change mind and change direction. I want my voice to be heard, not for anything else, but to change somebody. So is it uncomfortable? Yes, it is. It's very uncomfortable, but that don't stop me. And because you're uncomfortable, you have to keep going, keep going, keep going. And some days I don't want to get up and do this podcast because consistency is the key. God gave me this vision to go reach His people. Even when I don't feel like doing it, I get up and do it. Because it may not be rewarding under the sound of my voice now, but someday down the line, God is going to give me the fruit of all this, and I know it. So it puts you in an uncomfortable spot, especially financially. It puts you in an uncomfortable spot because when you start doing on journeys and ventures, you're not gaining a lot of financial money from at least what I'm doing. And I'm walking on faith more than money. So I believe my faith is going to overtake the money and it's just going to come to me. But being uncomfortable is not a bad thing. I feel like being uncomfortable as a successor and wanting to be successful, what it does is keep you on top of things. Y'all be keeping my swag right, keeping my stuff right. Uncomfortability keeps you going, going, going. It keeps me reading, it keeps me thinking, it keeps me what I could do next, how I could accomplish this, how I could do this. I want multiple streams of income. I want to speak to the world. So I'm uncomfortable, but I'm still pushing. I'm still pushing. You can never be uncomfortable where you stop. Just keep going, and then before you know it, you'll be done mastered it like I did in the funeral business. I mastered it. I mastered it, and I want to master so many other things. So being uncomfortable is not a bad thing. I call it a pusher. My uncomfortability pushes me, so I call it a pusher. pushing me to be better, pushing me to be great. As I get ready to close on this Resurrection Sunday, like I told y'all, I thank everybody that's under the sound of my voice for tuning in. I thank all my viewers. I am so thankful and grateful that week after week, y'all get up under the sound of my voice and basically sit down long enough to listen to me. But I'm going to tell you the most important thing about anything in life, always be thankful. Always be thankful and always be grateful. Never get to the point in life, no matter what you have, what God has blessed you with. At the end of the day, I never saw a U-Haul go in the cemetery. I've never seen it. And I don't think nobody will, unless they picking up something from the office. But I will say to most of you today, always be grateful, always be thankful that God, the people that God put in your life to make a difference, the people that travel with you along the way. And always remember, you get more blessings when you're grateful, and be thankful. I think a lot of times we talk ourselves out of a lot of things. I talk about this so heartfelt. I get so sick of talking to people and they say I'm ungrateful. All those complaints that you have, take them in. Take all of those complaints and get up one morning and say to yourself all the things you're thankful for. You'll brush your teeth, take a bath, wipe your face. You'll go out the door being thankful. I get up every day. Even if I can find something to complain about, I don't even want to complain. You're supposed to always be thankful, because guess what? When you got a thankful heart, God is sending so much to you. And be grateful to people. And then have a giving heart. Don't have your hand closed in all the time. Reach out and get. And it's not only a money. Reach down and pick somebody up sometime. Call somebody and give them an encouraging word. But in all that you do and all that you say, always be grateful to God for the life that you got. Because the life that you had is somebody dead or on a dying bed that wish they could have had the life that you are living. They wish they could have it. So let's always be thankful in our health and our finances and everything. And always know that Jesus is the reason for all of this. Please remember, y'all, thank y'all, and have a happy Resurrection Sunday. And make memories. Make memories. Because at the end of the day, and when your number call, that's all you're going to have is memories. And all this I said on here about success, life, and all of that, I want y'all to know. Change your mind, change your direction. As we close for this Resurrection Sunday, I want all of y'all, all of my viewers, all of the people that's under the sound of my voice, I want y'all to put in the comment section what you're grateful for today. Remember, don't inbox it to me. I know you're going to tell it to yourself, but do me one favor. Just write in there what you're grateful for. All I need is one thing. I don't need a whole big sentence. I don't need a whole big paragraph. I mean, if I had to say today what I'm grateful for today, I'd just say life. What I'm grateful for, health. That's what I'm grateful for on this Resurrection Sunday. So please, in the comment section, put what you're grateful for. And hopefully you enjoy your Resurrection Sunday and make memories, because that's more important. And remember, don't tell me you can't do it.